So this is the third video of second lesson, and lesson name is Mr. Mandela. So let's start it. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, yeah, his background, yeah, his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Even in the grimmest time in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards, perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and keep me going. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. So here pushed in our limit means push to last point in our ability, a bare point. So let's see what is the point of this line. So Mr. Mandela says that if one is taught by its society to hate human because of their skin, color, age, gender, and religion, so no one is inborn with hatred. The author's idea is that if people can be taught hatred, they can also be taught love and brotherhood. In their most tasting time in prison, when they were being treated brutally, Mandela would see a pinch of humanity and kindness in one of the gods, and that was enough to keep him going. He believes that goodness in humans being can be supported but never be eliminated. It can never be eradicated. So humanity is first on all the value and principle. In life, every man has two twin obligations. Obligations means responsibility, yeah, duty. First obligations is to his family, to his parents, to his wife and children, and he has an obligations to his people, his community, his country. In a civil and human society, each man is able to fulfill those obligations according to his own inclinations and ability. But in a country like South Africa, it was almost impossible for a man of my birth and color to fulfill both of those obligations. In South Africa, a man of color who attempted to live as a human being was punished and isolated. In South Africa, a man who tried to fulfill his duty to his people was inevitably ripped from his family, and his homeland was forced to live a life apart. A twilight existence of secrecy and rebellion. I did not in the beginning choose to place my people above my family, but in attempting to serve my people, I found that I was prevented from fulfilling my obligations as a son, a brother, a father, and a husband. So, in this line, he is saying that according to the author, every human being has its responsibility towards the family as well as the society. Generally, under normal circumstances, a person can maintain the balance between the two. But in countries like South Africa, where all the supremacy is only in the one hand, like fair people, it was never so easy. It was never so easy to pay all the responsibilities very easily and together. When a person of color would come up for his society, yeah, if a person of a black skin come forward to organize his social values, he would be arrested and taken away from his family by the government, thus keeping them from fulfilling both responsibilities. In the beginning, Mandela did not put his people over his family, but it was only later when he realized that in order to be there for his people, he was compromising his duties towards his family. I was not born with a hunger to be free. I was born free, free in every way that could know. Free to run in the field near my mother's heart. Free to swim in the clear stream that ran through my village. Free to roast millies under the stars and ride the boat back of slow moving bulls. As long as I obeyed my father, I abided by the customs of my tribe. I was not troubled by the law of man, yeah, God. It was only when I began to learn that my boyhood freedom was in illusion. Illusion means in darkness, that is not visual clear. When I discovered as a young man that my freedom has already been taken from me, that I began to hunger for it. At first, as a student, I wanted freedom only for myself, the transitory freedoms of being able to stay out at night, read what I pleased, and go where I chose. Later, as a young man in Johannesburg, I yearned for the basic and honorable freedom of achieving my potential, of earning my keep, of marrying and having a family, the freedom not to be obstructed in a lawful life. So, in this line, he is saying that he did not have the plan to stand against the discriminated system early in the life. Means in the starting, in the early, in his very childhood, he never had expected that he would be limited in several foundations. He lived his childhood like any normal child in South Africa. Means his childhood was not separated from other childhood in the South Africa. He only had to follow the rules set up by his father and the custom of his tribe. Means starting in the starting of the life, whatever is rules and regulation was set by their family or tribes was being followed by them. As soon as he grew up and began to learn the facts as to how people of color are treated, he decided to stand against it. He had this urge for freedom from inside, earlier just from himself, and later for having a basic life, not just for himself, but for everyone. In Johannesburg, they had to struggle for having a peaceful marriage, family, basic amenities with everyone has access to where law, order and exist. Means he was not able to start his life very smoothly because it was not allowed in South Africa, especially to the colored people, yeah, Negroes people, that they start their life very smoothly, like do marry, having children, yeah, pay their social duties. But then I slowly saw that not only was I not free, but my brothers and sisters were not free. But as soon as he realized that it is not only with him, but it is also to his brothers and sisters also, that their siblings are also not free, I saw that it was not just my freedom that was curtailed. Means he realized that it is not only their liberty that was taken away, but the freedom of everyone who looked like I did. Means all the people who were looked like him, yeah, who were belong to his tribes were were under the pressure. That is when I joined the African National Congress, and that's the moment he had to join this party, and that is when the hunger for my own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of my people. And that was the situation when my desire, my destiny became the destiny and desire for all the people who were looking alike like me. I was this desire for the freedom of my people to live their lives with gently and self-respect that animated my life. So he wanted that the people of his tribes may live their life like having social practice, social values that transformed a frightened young man into a bold one, that drove a law abiding attorney to become a criminal. Now, the boy who was very decent, who was very silent, due to this stand, became so bold as like a strong person, that turned a family loving husband into a man without a home, that forced a life loving man to live like a monk. And that's why all the changes came into me, like a loving husband changed into a person like that is homeless, that changed a life loving man to live like a monk. Monk means a person who sacrifice his life for the society, as like Bodh Bichu, yeah, religion. I am not no more virtuous or self-sacrificing than the next man. Means in the previous in the previous year I was not more virtuous, yeah, self sacrificing, but I found that I could not even enjoy the poor and lived it freedom I was allowed when I knew my people were not free. Means I was not given the liberty, yeah, rules, yeah, regulation that was set in that time at South Africa for the every people. Means we all are people that were separate, that were separated, that were deprived, had not given any kind of any social values, yeah, prestige. I knew my people were not free. Freedom is indivisible. The chain on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. Means we all are gathered together by a chain. If one person is not free, it means no one is free. I knew that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. A man who takes away another's man's freedom is a prisoner, of hatred. He locked behind the bar of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. So, in this line, Mr. Mandela is saying the person who is suppressing other, who is hatred other, is also a behind the prison because he is under the hatred and narrow mindedness. I am not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom, and the person he is also not free if he had snatched the freedom of other person. Just as surely I am not free from my freedom is taken from me. The oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. So in this line he is saying the both the person, either a oppressor or either a oppressed, both are not free from because they are under a mindset that is giving them hatred, and that's why if they all are under this kind of situation, the humanity will be suffering forever. So student, this chapter is finished now. What now you have to do, you have to note down the summary of this chapter and also the question answer that is given in the NCERT book in your notebook. Thank you.